Hello, I'm Professor Rich, and this is TYT History. I've been thinking a lot about Emmett Till lately, and if you don't know the story of Emmett Till, I thought I'd share it with you. Emmett Till is a black kid who gets killed at the age of 14 on August 28, 1955. Now, Till had actually grown up in Chicago, where his family had moved during the Great Migration before Till was born. They had moved there back in 1923. The Great Migration being the movement of 6 million African Americans from the South to the North, looking to escape Jim Crow and racism and find better working conditions. But Till will be visiting his family in the Mississippi Delta region in August of 1955, and will find himself in a grocery store run by a white couple, the Bryants. He'll be skipping church, hanging out with a bunch of sharecroppers' kids, just generally goofing off. When he will begin showing the other kids pictures of his integrated classroom in Chicago. Chicago had been integrated by that time. He will also show them a picture of a white girl and claim that that's his girlfriend. The other kids will at this point dare Emmett Till to go talk to the lady behind the counter, 23-year-old Carolyn Bryant. What happens next we don't really know. Till might have whistled at her. He might have just whistled not at her. She will testify in court that he goes up and grabs her around the waist and tells her they're going to have a date and tells her not to worry, that he's been with white women before. We don't really know what happened. But we do know that she runs out of the store to her car parked behind the store to get her gun hidden under the seat, and the kids take off and run away. Now, Mississippi at this time is kind of going a little haywire. Now, what's happened is that after World War II, as African Americans who've served in the war are coming home, it's creating a lot of tension at home. First, you have the typical fight for jobs in a post-war world, but more importantly, you're going to have the civil rights movement really first beginning to take shape. And one of the key factors in creating the civil rights movement was World War II, where you have some black folks leave the South, go to somewhere else, Europe or the Pacific, where they are given more authority, more responsibility, more opportunity in the war, and then have to return to this place, in this case Mississippi in the Jim Crow era, where they don't have any of those things. We also have to understand that in 1954, the Supreme Court has handed down the Brown versus Board of Education decision, ordering schools to desegregate, which, as you can imagine, is not terribly popular in a place like Mississippi, and has created a lot of anger among whites in the area. In fact, they meet Brown versus Board of Education by creating white citizens councils. You may remember these Haley Barbour championing these things, and offering what they call massive resistance to civil rights. And so this is the background. This is the world that Emmett Till does this in. Now, 3 days later, when Carolyn Bryant's husband comes home, he had been running a load of shrimp up to Texas. He is going to hear this story, and he's, of course, going to fly into a rage. He and his half-brother, J.W. Milam, are going to jump in their truck, and they're going to go looking for the kid who did this. They're going to grab some random black guy, take them back to Carolyn, and she is going to beg her husband not to hurt him, saying he's not the right guy. And eventually, Roy and J.W. Milam will figure out that it is Emmett Till, this kid visiting from Chicago. They'll go to Mose Wright's house. That's where Emmett is staying, and they will demand to see him. Eventually, they'll go into the house. It's sometime between 2 and 3 in the morning on August 28th. Of 1955, and they will drag Emmett Till out and throw him in the truck, where they will spend the night moving him, the rest of the night, moving him from location to location, beating him. There were at least 3 people involved, although we don't know who the third person is, and maybe as many as 14, we're not quite sure. But this goes on for a long time. Eventually they end up on the banks of the Tallahatchie River, where Emmett Till, who's been beaten all night long and had his eye gouged out, will be shot and killed and thrown into the river. His body will be weighed down by a 70-pound cotton gin fan that's tied around his neck by barbed wire. Milam and Bryant will later say that the only thing they had worried about was they might get in trouble for stealing the cotton gin fan. Apparently, all the things they did to Emmett Till, they were fairly confident wouldn't cause them any trouble. The adults at the house where Emmett Till had been taken from are scared to go to the authorities. Bryant and Milam had told them they'd kill him, and of course they believed that they would, and they believed that Bryant and Milam would face no consequences for doing it. But the NAACP does learn about this, and they're going to send a couple of guys down to investigate, to pose as cotton pickers and start asking around what happened to Emmett Till. These are going to be Amzie Moore and Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers, a great civil rights leader in his own right, who will himself be murdered on July 11, 1963, in Jackson, Mississippi, in another case of kind of cartoon justice, where the white guy is let go. That's a great story all by itself. But Emmett Till's body will resurface 3 days later, and it will be identified by a ring he's wearing that's clearly his. The body is badly decomposed, and so there's no real other way to identify it. But Emmett Till's mother, seeing this body, it stinks, it's horrible looking, here's a picture of it, will insist on an open casket funeral because she wants the world to see what's happened to her boy. She says words couldn't possibly explain this. Now, initially, the white citizens of Mississippi are actually shocked by this, and they're upset, and they don't, in the beginning, support Milam and Bryant. But pretty quickly that's going to change. The sheriff begins suggesting that maybe this is a fake body, or I should say a stolen body, somebody else's body, and that Emmett Till has run away and they've broken into a morgue or dug up a grave and thrown this body in the river to cover this. And whites in Mississippi begin to adopt this theory. There is also going to become this discussion, of course, about whether or not Emmett Till deserved to be killed, if you can imagine such a thing. Hey, he talked to this woman, this white woman. How could he do that? How could he violate this racial code of the South? Bryant and Milam, who admit to taking Emmett Till, will also begin saying that he told them that he had been with white women before and that he was the equal of white men. And he cussed at them. And for many whites in Mississippi, this made it clear that Emmett Till got what he deserved. And fairly quickly, they're going to begin to appear those jars on the counter asking for donations across Mississippi. And Mississippians will give $10,000 in 1955 to the legal defense of Milam and Bryant, paying for a large portion of it. The trial is a circus. It's a trial of the century. These happen all the time. If you don't know that, they're not really trials of the century. And it's going to be one of those trials where there's more reporters in town than there are citizens of the town itself. The sheriff will respond by rounding up black folks who could offer testimony in the court case and throwing them in jail for no reason, just to keep them away from the prosecutors. He'll walk into the courtroom every time he comes in, look at all the black people there, who the observers and the witnesses and the Emmett Till's family, and greet them with "hello" and word. I don't say that word, but this is the kind of thing we're talking about. The jury, of course, it's all white men. You expected that, right? But they're drinking beer with guns holstered on their hips during the trial, if you can imagine. They're drinking beer during the trial. This is the environment in which this trial is going to take place. Mose Wright, the guy who Emmett Till was staying with, is going to do something heroic. He's going to become, according to newspaper accounts at the time, the first black man in the history of Mississippi to identify and accuse a white man of a crime in open court, very much putting his own life in danger, of course, from retaliation from Southern whites. The defense claims that the body is not Emmett Till, that it's somebody else. And they put Emmett Till's mother on the stand, and they ask her repeatedly about a $400 insurance policy she had taken out on her son, suggesting openly that this was some sort of scam to defraud an insurance company, and Bryant and Milam were just innocent dupes. The defense will tell the jury before they go to make their decision, your forefathers would turn over in their grave if you convict these men. The jury will return its verdict in 67 minutes. One of the jurors saying that it wouldn't take so long, except they stopped for a break to have some sodas. As you can imagine, they found the men innocent. Some of the jurors would say that they all knew that Bryant and Milam did it, but there was no way they were going to convict a white man, particularly with serious consequences, for a crime against a black man. Now, the next part is why I find this case so interesting and why I've been thinking about it so much today. At this point, Southern newspapers will begin putting Emmett Till on trial. They will begin investigating his background and making the case that he needed killing. Now, the way they do this is they begin talking about Emmett Till's dad. Now, Emmett Till's mother and father got together, and they had a rocky relationship. She cheated on him at one point, and he choked her to the point of her passing out. The court is going to impose restraining orders. The father's going to violate this, and there in 1943 he's going to be given the choice of going to jail or joining the army. Well, he's going to choose the army, which means World War II, of course. And in Europe, he's going to be found guilty of raping a couple of women, and he's going to be hung. Now, of course, to the white Southern racist, this makes it obvious that Emmett Till is a bad guy, that he's some sort of villain because his dad raped someone, or actually raped two people. So therefore, it was okay to kill Emmett Till. Incidentally, I should point out that despite all these fantastic claims that the body is not Emmett Till and he's escaped somewhere and the whole thing's insurance fraud, no one makes any attempt to look for Emmett Till. You would think that the insurance companies at least would, if not the sheriff who's trying to prove this case. But it's a little bit like O.J. playing golf while searching for Nicole's killer, claiming that this mystery person is out there somewhere, but not really making any attempt to find them, suggests maybe they don't believe their own lies. Now, Bryant and Milam, looking to make a buck and relying on the Fifth Amendment protection against double jeopardy, will sell their story to Look magazine, and they will admit killing Emmett Till. They'll come right out and tell the whole story, the torture, the beating, the murder, the throwing him in the river. And actually, at this point, the other Mississippians will become repulsed by them because apparently it's okay to do it. You're just supposed to keep it on the down low, even if everybody knows. And Bryant makes a really bad decision here because his store is primarily frequented by black customers. And so, of course, his business dries up. And eventually Bryant and Milam will both end up broke with no banks willing to loan them any money based on now their horrible reputation. The death of Emmett Till will become a major catalyst for the civil rights movement. In fact, it is the major event that inspires the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1957, which allows federal courts to move in and take jurisdiction in cases involving racially motivated violence. So you can't have these kind of all-white Southern racist good old boy juries, which is a significant step towards dealing with race issues in the South. It will also be a huge inspiration to a great many people who are going to have a big say in the civil rights movement. Many artists will be inspired by this event. For example, Rod Serling will write a television show, the guy from the Twilight Zone, based on Emmett Till. Toni Morrison's only play, the great American author, her only play will be about Emmett Till. Bob Dylan will write a song about Emmett Till. James Baldwin will write a short story about Emmett Till. Langston Hughes will write a poem about this incident. But maybe most importantly, Harper Lee's classic To Kill a Mockingbird will be written immediately after this incident in the same geographic area. And of course, it's about a white lawyer defending a black man accused of rape. And many people see To Kill a Mockingbird as being heavily inspired by the death of Emmett Till. But more importantly, Emmett Till is killed on August 28, 1955. His trial takes place in the fall of 1955. And on December 1st of that same year, Rosa Parks will refuse to move to the back of the bus in Birmingham, Alabama. At one point when she's asked about this, she'll say, "I thought about Emmett Till, and I just couldn't go back." But this is the impact this incident had on our country, on the dialogue about race in this country. Emmett Till is also cited by members of the Little Rock Nine, the black kids who integrated Central High School in 1957, as a major inspiration for them. When they would think about their own difficult times, they would think about what happened to Emmett Till and why it was so important for them to fight back. But I've been thinking a lot about Emmett Till, and I hope you get something out of the story. And I've been thinking about this idea that sometimes when somebody gets murdered, even though it obviously appears to be murder, we don't want to talk about the murder. We want to talk about the victim. And we want to talk about whether or not we think that person needed to be killed or not. Even if the person who did the killing didn't know any of those things. Because remember, Bryant and Milam had no idea that Emmett Till's dad had raped anyone, right? So even if that was a justification, and that's crazy. They didn't know it. They still committed cold-blooded murder. So you can draw the conclusions you want from this video and why I made it now and what I'm getting at. But that was TYT history, the story of the death of Emmett Till. I'm Professor Rich, and I really hope you learned something.